Hi everyone, welcome to InstaClass by Amity Online. This is such a great opportunity and great times for all of us to be here together and learn loads. So once again, I would like to welcome you to InstaClass by Amity Live. Now, before we move further, let me introduce myself. My name is lovely Arya. I'm a soft skills trainer and a confidence coach. And today, I will be helping you with lots of cool stuff. Are you wondering what could those be? I'm going to talk about interview and resume essentials. Yes, there has been plethora of opportunities. There have been several times in our life when we are thinking, I want to get into that job. I really need to make this. I want that job. I want that promotion. I need to clear that interview. Lots and lots of things, they always comes to our mind and we feel stuck, we feel reproachable and we feel turmoil, right? So how can you take care of such situations? How can you make the most out of your interviews and how can you assure yourself and your candidature that yes, I'm going to nail this interview and I'm gonna get in? These things are exactly that I'm going to help you with. I have a very cute little presentation in here just for my reference, and we're going to move ahead with that, right? So in case you have any questions or anything, maybe you can put those in the comments below. I can see if I can answer them because it's going to be a very interesting value loaded thing, but don't hold back, okay? Right. So I want to start by asking you one question that you have to ask at each interview process. What does your mindset speaks about it? You know, whenever we go to interview, many of us, majority of us, we are always feeling like those days when we used to in college. We always feel like, like I have to get that viva right. I have to submit my project report. There's a lot of tension. Will I get marks? These are the emotions which we used to feel back in college, right? And same thing, same emotion, same anxiety is what we experience during interview times. Am I going to get that job? My goodness, there are so many candidates. Am I going to make it in? My resume, does this look fine? I'm not even talented enough. So many questions, so much anxiety. How can you take care of it? So the first question that you have to ask yourself is, what do you really think about this interview process? The entire process. I'm not just subjugating it to one entire organization. I'm talking process in general. Because it happens that we always have this notion in our heads that whenever we are going to be, take an interview, when we're going to present ourselves in an interview, we have just one outcome in our minds, and that is acing it, right? But do we also look interview in a two-way approach? Do we think interviews or do we consume interview process as a two-way process thing? We never do that. We rarely do that. Because all that we think is that we have to give questions, we have to give answers in the perfect accordance. We have to take care of each and everything so that we can get the job. But my friends, dear students, audience, it is never about that. Trust me. Sometimes you need to understand that an interview process is a two-way process. Yes, as much as you want to contribute to an organization, as much as you want to go into an organization, as much as you want to nail that examination and interview, same is the thing with recruiters on the other side. They're also doing their job. They also want to have the best employee. They also want to, fill up their targets or find the right fit for their organization. So always have this kind of little faith on yourself. Always have this kind of confidence in yourself that no matter what, no matter whatever the result is going to be for interview, I am going to take care of it. I will ace this opportunity. And in case this is not the right opportunity for me, then no worries. I'll find another one and I'll go my way there. So before we move further ahead, let me just break down this entire cute little session into two parts, right? First part, it is going to be interview based, right? So I'm going to be talking about conquering the battleground. Now, what is conquering the battleground? In this concept, I basically talk about different things that you have to take care of, or you have to think, or you have to perceive in order to get the most out of your interview. So these are the prerequisites, okay? Before you even enter an interview process, before you even enter the interview stage, you have to take care of a couple of things, and these things are going to be those, right? And the second thing that we are going to talk about is resume essentials. Because trust me, on an average, recruiters is hardly sparing about 8 to 10 seconds on your resume. Yes, just 8 to 10 seconds. You've posted and you have I don't know, like you have spent so much time making that resume, 2 hours, 3 hours. You might also be making customized resume for different profiles. But at the end of the day, you feel that my resume is going to stand out. I'm sorry, my friend, if it's not packed with the right essential, it is not going to stand out. Because just like your resume and just like my resume, there are tons and tons and thousands of resumes and profiles and candidatures which are lying around with a recruiter. That's why it becomes our job to take care of that and present our candidature, present a resume in the most appropriate way, right? So let's quickly get started. Just give me a second so that I can figure out what to speak and how to go about this. Perfect. In case if you have any questions, just keep dropping down below, right? Perfect. And I want to just drop a special note in here. Now, since this session is going to be with a lot of value and stuff, don't force yourself to write things as I speak. You know, the sessions are always going to be available on Amity Online things. And I'm also going to circulate a feedback form at the end of this session, so that if you are going to fill that up and if you're going to click and provide your credentials, then I would be sharing the detailed notes of the entire session. So don't worry, I've got you, right? With that being said, let's start. So the first thing, like I told you, you have to take care in the resume essentials is the mindset. You don't have to be scared. Yes, we don't have to feel anxious. We don't have to feel overly competitive. We don't have to feel underconfident. We don't have to be scared at all. We just need to understand that going to an interview, right? Going to any organization and attending their interview, it is a two-way process. I am going to find the best company for me, and the best company is going to find me. It's going to be a two-way process. We are going to sync that up. We are going to mirror that up, right? So always and always take care of these things. Always take care of your mindset before you even enter heads on, right? Now let's talk about another thing, that is accessories. I know you must be thinking that from mindset to accessories look pretty lame and vague, but trust me, it's not. Imagine a scenario. You are the recruiter of a company, and then you see this candidate with most amazing conversation skills and everything. They are going just pretty fine. And then when you ask them to write something down, or just you give them some solution or some answer to ponder upon, they bring out their like notebooks and pens, which is colorful and contrasty, and the pen is having pom-poms on it. What kind of an image and reproach you would have towards that candidature? It would low down, right? So this is a very subtle notion which people really don't think about, but I want you to think about it. So make sure your pens, your accessories, your binders, all of the accessories that you're carrying, your belt, your attire accessories, your purses, everything should be having a professional demeanor, because the more professional it is, the more impact you can leave on those things, right? Another thing that I want you to take care of is documentation. Now, what is documentation before entering into an interview? Documentation means that even if the recruiter, they are having your resume, even if the recruiter is having all of the information, all of the data, all of the information like profiles and your certification and everything, still, it is your responsibility, my dear audience, to bring forth your candidature once again. So here's what you can do. Once you enter into a conversation, once you enter into an interview, you can ask your recruiter very humbly that, ma'am, sir, would you like to see my candidature? Or maybe you can ask them while you present your candidature, your binder, right? And what all constituent your binder should have? Let me tell you. So binder should have multiple copies, black and white and colored, of your resume or CV. Know the difference? Please Google it up. CV is different, resume is different, okay? Next thing that you people can have or do is your certifications, right? Certification of all the co-curricular activities that could be relevant to the given job profile. Now, please do not write that you have, received the certification in class 6 for a cricket championship or a badminton championship, because think about it. What would recruiter make out of it? Why would it interest them? They can use that notion just to strike a conversation, but it's not very useful. Okay, so make sure you're having value comments, you're having valuable documents. So you can use your birth certifications or your ID proofs in there. You can have those. Then you can have your mark sheets from 10th, 12th, graduation, post-graduation, or anything else you are pursuing. If you're having any value addition courses, right? So you can have certificates for those courses. If you have any portfolios that you have prepared, so you can just put them on a drive link, and you can just drop a drive link. You can create a document, you can print it out with all the addresses for your drive links, right? So that way, if they will just open it up, if they will see that what all you have actually done in the past, they can just simply see the document, type it in the address bar, and it's going to be get taken care of. Right? So these are a couple of things that you have to take care of when you're talking about an interview process. Now comes the tricky part, resume essentials. Trust me, most of the people, like I have been associated with several organizations, I've seen the work from the front end and the back end, and trust me, most of the organizations, if they are big in nature, if they are like a high-paid corporate, if they are actually a big organization, they would have this one software system that is called ATS, and that is Applicant Tracking System or Application Tracking System. Now, what does this ATS do? So basically, this is like an automated machine which have feeded keywords. Okay. So what does the recruiter do is, once you send your resume or your profile to the recruiter just simply scans out that document through the ATS. Now, ATS would have particular keywords or particular bars and standards. For example, for a given tech profile, the requirement for percentage, which is given, it's 75%. Right? So the ATS would scan your credentials, and if your credentials says that you have scored 68%, then it is going to reject your application. Right? Similarly, if you're going to for any kind of profile where the job description wants you to be an email marketer or to be a digital marketer, to be a Canva expert, right? If these are the keywords, and if you are just writing a lot of fluff in your resume and you are not writing these pointed, very important keywords, then my friend, you are again going to get a cross on this ATS. So make sure that whenever you are preparing any kind of resume, go through the job description very carefully. Try to fetch out the keywords. What are keywords? Keywords are important words related to the subject matter, right? So just fetch out the keywords from the job description itself and try to customize and edit your entire being a little bit, which makes it synchronized with what the company is asking. Right? So that is one thing that you can do. Another thing that you must take care of is an objective section and a summary section. Now, let me tell you what these are. I have seen a lot of resumes wherein people are actually starting the document by writing the word resume on top. Have you seen those? Are you one of those? In case if you are, it's completely fine. It's not at all a problem. We all have been there. But see, this is a learning time and we have to perfect that resume in order to actually clear that level where our candidatures are smoothened out when we are called out for an interview, right? So in case if you have been doing this mistake of writing the word resume on the top of the document, please eliminate that. It is not serving any purpose. It is not going to give any recall value to the customer or to the recruiter. So it's not really going to do anything, right? So that is the first thing you strike off that word. Second thing that you're supposed to do is to add an objective statement. Now, what is an objective statement? Objective statement is a one-liner or two-liners, crisp, copy-written statement that you write at the top of the document. Top of the document as in you start the document, you start the resume. First, you write your name, you write your email ID, you write your number, right? I'm just giving you one of the formats, right? The next thing, the portion, the content when it starts with the resume. So what you have to do is you have to write the objective statement, right? In that objective statement, you have to mention that, hi, I am a seasoned profession, or I am an individual with X, Y, Z capabilities, right? So these X, Y, Zs are your USP. USP means unique selling proposition, things or skill sets that you are good at, okay? So you are supposed to write that, hi, I am this individual with my X, Y, and Zs, and I'm looking to work in a company of good repute, or I'm looking forward to work in this industry, or I'm looking forward to work in this kind of profile, or I'm looking forward to work in this kind of organization with this culture, basically what you are seeking, right? So in those two lines, you just have to encapsulate everything and you have to put it forward. So this has to be very to the point and very crisp and very clear, right? So that is number one, objective section. You can just search it over the Google and you'll get more answers about it. The second section is summary section. Guys, you have to understand one thing. When a recruiter is having your resume, there are tons of other resumes which are right there in front of them, right? So how are you going to assure that they are getting the maximum out of your candidature in those 8 to 10 seconds? For that, you use the summary section. So what do you exactly do in summary section? You must be wondering. I'll tell you. So in summary section, we summarize. Basically, we write in short notice, we write the entire resume, the important and the most important elements of a resume in short forms, in bullet points. And we write about 7 to 12 bullet points at max. 12 is also too much, so just try to avoid. But in case if you have done so much in your life, which is a good thing, it can just go up till 11, 12. Right? So what all you can include in the summary section? So you can have your education, like you have done your BBA or you have done your MBA with so and so percentage. You can write that if that is something you want to broadcast at first go. If you have worked with some brands previously, or if you have done some internships, then you can write about those brands or those internships. You can just focus on that nuance, and maybe you can bold that letter. That is one thing you can do. Another thing that you can write about is any projects if you have undertaken, any kind of projects or any kind of, amalgamation of skill sets or collaboration that you have been an active part of. So those things that you can mention there. Another thing which you can mention is your portfolio link. So if you think that, the recruiter is not going to read my entire profile and I really, really want to show them my portfolio link, I really want to show them what actually I can work on. So simply just write your portfolio link, just mention it on the top of the document in the summary section, right? Another thing that you have to take care for your resume, that is that you have to take care of a white spacing. Now, white spacing is the amount of white spaces or spaces in the overall visualization of your document. So basically, I have seen there are several resumes which are so cluttered. It's so full of all the content and lot of writings. It makes it feel that as if ants are just ranging over it. Please don't do that. Keep your resume, keep your document a minimalistic one. Just have confidence that, yes, I'm going to write only the one thing or only couple of things which are super crucial to my candidature. And on basis of this, once I clear the screening profile and once I'm in the interview, I'm going to be confident. I'm going to be with great communication skill. I'm going to be with clear approach, and I'm going to make this work. Right? So you have to understand that resume, preparing a resume and then delivering an outcome, which is going to an interview and acing it. These both are interlinked. So you cannot just divide this process synchronously and you just think that, okay, I don't have to care about the other one. No, it's not like that. You have to take care of those things, right? So with that being said, I think there are a couple of these things that you can take care of and you can make most out of your resume and interview processes. Just stay confident while you are at it. Don't worry. It's not the end of the world. Even if you don't get that one job, it is fine. Universe is really big for all of us. There are plethora of options, because just have this one mindset that it is fine. If I don't get this one opportunity, my life is not going to end. I will have more opportunities. I have a lifetime ahead of me. Right? So just realize this. Never ever break your confidence. Never ever feel small about yourself. Keep your documents intact. Keep everything super amazing and just go for it. Just take that plunge and trust me. When your documentation is fine, when your confidence is in place, and when your skills are great, you will nail that interview. You will ace that interview. Right? So with that said, I think I will be just moving towards the conclusion part of this entire session. In case if you have any more doubts, in case if you want to know more about this, if you want to talk more about this, you can connect me on LinkedIn or Instagram. My social handles are Lovely Arya Official. That is LOVELY ARYA Official, OFFICIAL. Right? So you can contact me there. And this amazing team have already dropped down the link for the feedback form. So please do go ahead, give your feedback for the session in case do you want the detailed notes for this session and more. Trust me, it's going to be a game changer for you. And with this, we are going to conclude this thing. And it was amazing interacting with you all. Thank you so much. And I will see you next time. Bye.